Hello guys, I'm back for episode 23. Yeah, we're back. Spent some time with Mana last time, reminiscing about the past and trying to convince Mana to cancel her Kodadama on the Kodadama that she made where nobody in the world can not see us or hear us. No, the other way around, where Makoto cannot see anyone else in the world or hear him. This is gonna go well. God damn it. The sun slowly made its way down from zenith, and eventually evening arrived. Oh, we're still reminiscing about the past. I see. We weren't doing anything, just sitting side by side and enjoying each other's company. The breeze blowing in from the window had become cooler and it felt nice on my cheeks. It was quiet. It'll be sundown soon, I murmured into Mana's ear, her head resting on my shoulder. She nodded slightly but made no move to get up. You're not going to head back? Nights in the village were pitch dark. It was so hard to see where you were going in the darkness, so Mana would always leave before the sunset. So she's staying. Is this going to play out as like our first night together? I wonder. She shook her head slightly, but she didn't lift her head from my shoulder. She puts her arms around me and hugged me tight, like a child clinging to its parent. One child with an estranged relationship with her parents, and another child with parents that have passed away. Quite a pair of kids here. I returned her embrace, stroking her back with one hand. I just wished she could find peace. If we've always been very close, it's almost the same thing. And we're betrothed to each other. Eventually, we really will be family. Don't tell me Makoto's words of saying that, oh, we're betrothed to each other, is actually her support, her emotional support from her bad relationship with her parents and her experience of witnessing Nozomi's death in passing. This is way deeper than your average feelings for someone. She suddenly looked up at me, a pleading expression on her face. Oh boy. Her tone is unusually weak. Her voice even seemed to be trembling. I looked down at her. I could see the uncertainty simmering in her eyes. If I didn't want you, I wouldn't be doing this. I hugged her tighter. You're more precious to me than anyone else in the village. Yep, that's probably the trigger. The last few lines is probably the trigger. That's probably why Mana believes so determinedly is a word? Yeah. He feels so confidently about how our feelings will never change about her. This is definitely it. This scene is probably living proof here. As she brought her cheek closer to mine, I could smell the sweet fragrance of her hair. My heart jumped at the sensuality of her approach. At our ages, we had long since begun to grow interested in perverted things, of course, but until now we still hadn't crossed that line. Since we were betrothed, the time to consummate. What a strange word. No, it's not. I'm not talking about like the actual dialogue. I'm not talking about like the translation, but the dialogue. No, not the dialogue. The scene where this word is used in. I find it really funny. The time to consummate. Our relationship would naturally arrive one day, we thought, or at least I did. But conversely, maybe we always thought of our betrothal as something about the future, not today.
Makoto.
Her fingertip traced the outline of my cheekbone. The uncertainty simmering in her eyes dissipated as a burning heat grew to take its place. Mana. Something deep on my breast told me that the time had finally come. Mana nodded, then opened her lips. Kodama. That was Kodama there. The Japanese line has quite numerous meanings. So yeah, they probably did it. Yeah, take me is also quite nicely phrased. But yeah, they probably did it that night. It was the first time. My eyes open. Oh yeah, so they were dreaming about the past. Or he was dreaming about the past. I look around at the clock. It's the same time I usually wake up. Well, this is quite a nice BGM here. Okay, nice. It's impressive how deeply habits can lodge themselves in your mind. Did I also sleep? In the real world? At my side, Makoto Mana stirs, frowning lightly in her sleep. Her hand is tightly collapsing the sleeve of my shirt. It's as if, even in sleep, she doesn't want to let me go. I place my other hand over hers and squeeze it softly. A smile of relief breaks around her face as she lets... hold on. As she lets go of my sleeve and squeezes my hand instead. I think back to the first time we slept together. That night. I was just now dreaming of. That night, all through our first awkward attempt at perverted acts. Okay. Yeah, so they did sleep together. Attempt at sleeping together. She never... just used the word consummate. Yeah, our first awkward attempt at consummating. She never let go of my head. I stroke her hair, watching her sleep for a time, but she continues to show no signs of waking up. She must still be tired from speaking that Kotodama yesterday. I would like to escape from the situation as soon as possible, partly out of concern for her health. What should I do now? Normally I get out of bed and go downstairs to make breakfast, but in my current situation it would be difficult. I can't perceive Kokoro or Azuki-san, and they can't perceive me either. If I mess with anything in the kitchen, I could cause trouble for them. If we happen to bump into each other while one of us is handling a blade or something hot, someone could even be injured. No, I have to be very careful when doing anything right now. Still though, I'm pretty hungry. Last night, Azuki-san didn't make any dinner for me, so Mana shared hers with mine, along with some donuts Kyoko brought her. Bought for her? Some donuts Kyoko brought. Yeah, along with some donuts Kyoko brought her. Yeah. She made some donuts, I guess, yeah. Well, that wasn't enough to keep me full through the night. Mana is still sleeping peacefully. It would be a little sad to wake her up now. No, very sad. I'd like to get my breakfast without relying on her, if possible. That's it. I have an idea, and slowly slide out of bed. After changing my clothes and going downstairs, I find that nobody is there, as I expected. I can't sense anyone's presence at all. Mana's Kododama is clearly working just as well as it was yesterday. It really is amazing. If I tried a Kododama like that, I'm sure it would have started to falter by now. I plot a course to the front door from memory that will hopefully avoid bumping into Kokoro and Azuki-san, where they usually stand. What now? Mana's not changing her mind, but this is gonna cause quite some problems. I don't know if I managed not to bump into them, but I make it outside to the street. It's just like yesterday, the sky is bracingly blue. And the street is totally empty with not a person to be seen or heard. I almost feel like I will have the whole town to myself. Well, of course, that's not actually the case. There are probably plenty of people around, and what's more, though I can't see them, they can all see me. I take a deep breath to calm myself down. I have to act in such a way that people around me won't be able to tell I'm blind. Around me won't be able to tell I'm blind and deaf to their presence. If it takes too long, it will be time to go to school, and some of my classmates might walk by, and that will be bad. I'd have to do this carefully, but also as quickly as possible. Whew. I bought some onigiri and bread at the convenience store, making sure to pay exactly so the cashier wouldn't try to give me change. It was really strange, but the checkout counter looked completely empty and motionless to me the whole time. It seems Mana's Kotodama is selectively erasing all information that might indicate a person's presence to me. The only hint that something was happening was the sounds of the cashier. It's an odd thought at the moment, like this, but I can't help but be impressed by the sheer quality of the Kotodama. I did briefly consider closing my eyes and trying to make my way around by hearing alone. My ears seemed like my least affected sense. My ears seemed like my least affected sense, so I thought it might work and tried it out for a while. But I quickly realized how much I rely on my eyes in daily life. It might not be impossible to navigate blind, But even if I used my kododama to make it easier, it would take forever to get used to. Well, at least I got what I came for. Breakfast. Yum, 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 yum. I take out my onigiri, unwrap it, and start to eat. Woo! I must have been hungrier than I realized, because the onigiri is gone within seconds. Maybe I should have waited until I got home. No, if I ate in the room, Mana will be woken up by the smell of food. What time is it, anyway? I take my cell phone out of my pocket and look at its clock. It's only a short time before everyone will start walking to school. I will stay outside for too long while my fellow students might see me. I start to eat one last onigiri before going back inside, when suddenly it hits me. Wait a second. I stare at my phone. What would happen if I called someone? Oh my god. Is this a loophole? This is a loophole, right? This is definitely a loophole, right? Just now at the convenience store I could hear the sounds of the cashier. A phone is a machine too, so maybe I can hear human voices as long as they're over the phone. He's gonna try it. I'm fully prepared to go along with Mana until she relents and cancels a kododama. I don't want to trick her or cheat my way out of this, but I'm concerned that Kokoro and the others might be worried about me. It might be worth it to at least try and see if I can contact them. Here goes. You know, I feel that Mana is gonna go around looking for him, and she's gonna witness this scene. I steel myself and select Kokoro's number from my address book. Unfortunately, I can tell that her phone has stopped ringing, and my screen says the call is connected, but I can't hear her voice on the line. Apparently, I still can't hear her voice, even over the phone. Mana's kododama really is something else. I'm alright, don't worry about me. I'm not sure whether she can hear me or not. Mana did say she had spoken kododamas to both Kokoro and Azuki-san too, but I tried to let her know I'm safe anyway before I hang up. What about texting? He's trying all options right now. Mana's kododama can't stop me from reading and writing texts, can it? What the heck is this? I'll open the text Kokoro sent me a while back and my jaw drops. I can tell that there is some kind of text on the screen, but it's blurry and I can't tell what it says at all. Oh my, wow. Such an unbelievable kododama. My brain must be recognizing this text as Kokoro's words, and then ignoring it, just as Mana's kododama commands it to. If this is how Kokoro's texts look to me, she probably won't be able to read any text I send to her either. I almost feel dizzy as I keep thinking. Mana has been in the house since yesterday and hasn't gone to school. That means she hasn't been able to speak a kododama to anyone other than Kokoro and Natsuki-san. I think she's told the school via Kokoro that she'll be home sick for a while. That means that my place at school and my place in this world haven't crumbled away just yet. But the longer this drags on, the more precarious my position will be. For so many reasons, it's time to do or die.
見つけた
I hear Mana's voice behind me. I put my phone back in my pocket and turned around.
探したのよ急にいなくなるから心配したわ
I was, getting food. I was hungry, so I thought I'd go buy some breakfast. I showed her the shopping bag with the remaining bread and onigiri in it. I would have apologized before making an excuse, but I can't because her kododama telling me not to apologize is still in effect.
自分で買い物をしてきたの
Yeah. Her eyes widened in surprise. Yeah, it's kind of nerve-wracking, but I managed to do it.
思い切ったことをするのね私に言ってくれればよかったのに
You were sleeping so peacefully that I couldn't bear to wake you up. Same as what happened with Kokoro too. Couldn't bear to wake Kokoro up, so I just went ahead and cooked breakfast. Her face screws up as if she's about to start crying. Then she suddenly wraps me in a desperate hug.
目が覚めて、誠がいなかったから、すごくドキッとしたわ。また私を置いていってしまったんじゃないかって。もう、勝手に遠くへ行かないで。
I won't. I can't apologize directly, but I try to sound as contrite as I can as I stroke her hair. I should have just gone home quickly instead of doing all these stupid experiments with the phone, closing my eyes. She suddenly looks down, presses her temples and groans softly. You're using too much Kododama. It's gonna happen eventually, and she's just using Kododama on top of Kododama. Oh my god. Mana, what's wrong? I bent down to look at her face. There's a film of sweat on her forehead and she is grimacing in pain. Does it hurt? Let's go inside, quickly.
大丈夫。心配しないで。痛くない。
She's doing the same thing Makoto has been doing, like, during the time Makoto was around the scene where he was planning on saving Azuki-san. She mutters to herself, then slowly looks up again. Her expression is back to normal, but her face is still horribly pale. Her skin, normally fair, is blanched white, the color of snow. You can say that, but you don't look one bit fine.
私が大丈夫と言ったら、大丈夫なの。
She turns her face away from me, pouting, like a little kid. It's a cute gesture, but right now that makes it all the more uncomfortable to look at. Mana, that headache. It's probably because...
使いすぎだと言うんでしょ。わかってるわ。
She glares sharply at me.
あなたのように考えなしにホイホイ使ってきたわけじゃないのよ。私は。
I know. The adults in the village intentionally never taught me the proper use of Kododama, but Mana has always known about the dangers. So I know that she's always careful, and only speaks a Kododama when she's fully prepared to do so. It's just... But have you ever been distrained after speaking a Kododama?
ないわ。
I knew it. That means you're in unknown territory now.
そうよ。それが何だっていうの。
She's probably expecting us to say, oh, then how about you cancel the Kododama? She has a very defiant looking expression right now. But yeah, Makoto's not gonna say that, I'm pretty sure. Makoto is just simply worried. At this rate, your headache will just get worse and worse. Though she has more experience with Kododama than I do, I'm sure I have come closer to death than when using it than she has, so I know. And it's not just that, you'll feel completely exhausted, and nausea will come soon after.
それも言霊で何とかするわ。
Eventually, you won't be able to. You won't be able to.
そうなの？
She finally starts to look worried. Yeah, you don't totally lose your Kododama power, but it starts going weird. That's only natural though. Erasing your pain with a Kododama doesn't actually make the damage go away. She hugs herself while she thinks. Mana, hey, let's stop this, okay? The longer these Kododamas last, the more strain it will put on you. I'm worried about you, Mana.
嘘。
Ah. She looks at my pocket, her gaze becoming sharp again.
私が来る前に、携帯電話を使っていたでしょ。
Ah, she caught me. She caught us. Yeah. No, I didn't take out my phone out of my pocket. I can very well deny it at this point.
心に連絡しようとしたのね。
Her face darkens as she scrolls through my call history. And this, just when she had started to recover from the sudden headache. Yes, but I couldn't hear anything, and I couldn't read any of the text messages. He's just going all out and just telling her everything. Confessing.
当然よ。私の言霊を甘く見ないで。
She puts my phone away, looking irritated. Apparently it's getting confiscated indefinitely.
まだ私のことだけを考えてくれないの。そんなに心が気になる？私よりもあの子がそんなに大切？
This is bad. I can see the distrust in her eyes.
どうも思っていた以上に。誠は重症みたいね。
Her tone becomes colder and colder. I just want to tell her not to worry. I take Mana's hand, trying to find some way to get back into her good graces. She and Azuki-san probably think I've just suddenly disappeared, right?
ええ。
She nods.
部屋を覗いたらいなくなっている。帰ってこない。どこへ行ったのかしらって。
As I thought.
あまり心配することはないと言ってあるわ。弱い言霊を使ってね。だからしばらくは気にならないはずよ。
This is gonna escalate. This is gonna escalate. In a bad way.
でも、
She looks at me sadly.
誠がそんな調子なら、もっと強い言霊を使って、完全に気にしないようにせざるを得ないかしら。
A strong enough kotodama that Makoto cannot overturn. This is... Mana should understand how much Makoto really cares about family, and you just... This is gonna cause a rift in the relationship. No, you can't. I can't let her do that. But what can I do? She sealed my own kotodama, so I have no way to stop her. There's only one way. Megan, I'm begging you. I squeezed her hand desperately. She smiles bewitchingly, and a shiver runs down my spine.
ああ、やっぱりいいわね。誠のその困った顔。体の奥が薄いちゃうわ。
She steps forward, closing the distance between us as she squeezes my hand in return.
ねえ誠、言ったでしょ？止めたければ、ちゃんと私を安心させてくれないとって。
But what should I do? How can I reassure you?
簡単よ。証明して、私への気持ちを。
She places one hand in my chest. On my chest.
言い名付けの私は、誠の一番大切な、特別な存在なんだって、実感させて。
Are we gonna... You are... That's why I'm so worried about you. All I can do now is plead with her and hope she relents.
嬉しいけれど、やっぱりもう、言葉だけではね。
She looks at me meaningfully.
あなたまだ言霊を使っているような感覚のままなんじゃない？さあ、どうやって私に言うことを聞かせようかって、そう思っていない？
Not at all. I really just don't know what I should do. I'm at my wit's end. She's probably asking Makoto to sleep with her or something. Like what we did with Kokoro. I'm at my wit's end. I'm about to fall to my knees in frustration. Will nothing I say reach Mana's heart any longer?
いい顔だわ。かわいそうな誠。でも、さすがにちょっといじめすぎたかしらね。
With a smile that's half sadistic and half loving, she gently touches my cheek.
私は、あなたを絶望させたいわけじゃない。ただ、自分を取り戻してほしいだけなの。あなたがこれからきちんと私の望みを叶えてくれるなら、新しい言霊を使うことは控えると約束する。なんて、我ながら大甘な情報だと思うけど、どうかしら？
That's very one-sided. That's very one-sided. I'm happy to see Mana start to read manga, eat donuts, and becoming friends with Kokoro and Kyoko. She seems to be enjoying herself more than when she was back in the village, and she probably thinks similarly about how I've changed her too. Of course, I want to grant your wishes. I also want to get us out of the situation, for my sake and hers. If words aren't enough, what else do I have to do?
それを考えるところからしてほしいわね。と、本音としては言いたいところだけど、これ以上いじめたら、さすがの誠も泣いちゃうかしら。
She laughs, then brings her mouth close to my ear. Then...
抱いてくれないかしら。
Yeah.
あなたの思いを、形としてはっきりと見せるために。
Yeah, I knew it. As expected.
初めての時の優しい気持ちを思い出せるように。心を込めて、ね。
Her soft voice carries no kodama this time, so she draws me by the hand. What the fuck?
誠。
Oh my god. That was completely unexpected. Oh my god. Why? No warning at all. Hold on. Let me She's using her chest. She's using her assets. Then oh yeah, they're sleeping together. I'm gonna have to move this down. There we go. Wow. That's quite intense. What the hell? Wow. Okay. God damn it. Oh boy. I open my eyes. It seems I've been sleeping for quite a while after we finished. Making love. So they ended up sleeping together, pretty much. It's already evening, huh? Whoa, that looks very beautiful. Even if the situation is just hardly good to say, good to compliment about, but wow, the scene is beautiful though. Wow. I look around and realize that Mana isn't in the room anymore. Did she go back to her room or to sleep, or maybe she's already awake and has gone somewhere? Oh.
起きたのね、誠。
Mana returns, flapping the front of a yukata to fan herself. While I was sleeping, she took a bath to wash off the sweat. But looking at her face, she doesn't seem refreshed. In fact, she looks even more tired than before. Well, they slept. This is like, how many times now? With Mana? Ooh. Coming up to the bed, she sighs and lies down next to me. As she walks, she's almost dragging her feet on the ground. With Mana in this condition, maybe it wasn't a good idea for us to sleep together. Are you okay? You're starting to look pale again.
心配ないわ。また少し眠れば良くなるわよ。
So she says. Her eyelids slowly close. Mana. In moments, her breathing becomes deep and regular, and she doesn't answer. I gaze at her sleeping face for a while. It might make me feel impatient. It might make me feel inadequate. But for now, I just have to do what I can. It's title screen. Title page? I think that's the title page. Yeah. Anyway, a sudden chill on the back of my neck wakes me up. Outside the window, the summer sun is blazing in the bright blue sky, but inside the room it's almost as if winter has arrived. I can almost forget that I'm in bed, under the covers. Mana stirs on my arms. Her face is still pale, but she doesn't seem to be in pain, at least.
少し寒いわ、誠。
Frowning slightly, she hugs me a little tighter. She doesn't seem to be awake yet, so she must still be dreaming.
いや、離れないで。ねえ、誠。
It's a nightmare. Okay. Yeah. It's alright, Mana. I'm right here. I whisper in her ear as I hug her in return. She entwines her legs with mine. The touch of her feet is pleasantly ticklish and cool. Her expression softens as she let out a sigh. Then slowly she returns to the steady breathing patterns of deep sleep. While relieved that she seems to be comfortable, I'm alarmed at how much colder I'm feeling today than yesterday. Yup, it's escalating. It's not a good sign. Oh no. Oh no. The amount of snow I can see around Mana's body has definitely increased too. I think it means that her snow curse is gaining the upper hand over her. In other words, she's weakening. And accordingly, her resistance to the kododama that was placed on her long ago is also weakening. It's incredible that Nozomi's kododama could still persist for so many years after her death. To say that her kododama ability or was orders of magnitude greater than mine would be an understatement. Quite so. And Mana, while not reaching Nozomi's level, is still one of the strongest Kododama users in the history of the village. To them, my Kododama are mere child's play, and to me, theirs are more like the works of God. I decide to stay in behind and keep Mana warm, at least until she wakes up. She might never know that I made a decision, but I'm not doing it for show. Even if she never cancels a Kododama. Even if she tries to force me to go back to the village with her. She's still a very precious person to me, and she's one of the people I want to be happy. And so, good night, Mana. Honestly, I'm not very sleepy anymore, but I close my eyes a bit forcibly. As I drift off to sleep, I pray that she will find peace. This is so depressing. Oh my god. What the hell? It's a little past noon when Mana finally wakes up. She stirs, then slowly opens her eyes. Her face is no less pale than yesterday, and she doesn't look well rested at all. It's clear that she isn't refreshed from her long sleep. It reminds me of how Azuki-san looked a few weeks ago, which worries me. Good morning, Mana.
Ohayo.
That does not sound good. She lets out a small yawn and rubs her eyes, then instead of getting up, she rolls onto her other side and wraps me in a hug. Mana?
よかった。誠がどこにも行かなくて。
Nope. I nod and pat her on the back a few times.
ずっと私を抱いてくれていたの？
Yes, Makoto has been doing so. She looked surprised to see my arms encircling her body. That's right, you looked cold. So I thought I could help by warming you up.
ありがとう。だからこんなにぐっすり眠れたのね。
She smiles happily and kisses me on the cheek.
今何時くらい？
It's a little past lunchtime, I think. Shimana looks out the window, squinting in the sunlight.
やだ、ほんと。もうすっかり昼ね。まだ朝かと思ってた。おはようじゃなくて、こんにちはだわ、これじゃ。
I guess you're right. Good afternoon. I correct my earlier greeting and Mana stifles a burst of laughter.
こんにちは、誠。
How are you feeling?
悪くないわ。誠のおかげでね。
Despite what she says, though, she looks pretty bad. If you're not feeling well, you can just say so. There's no need to hold it in.
このくらい大丈夫よ。なんてことないわ。
She probably thinks she sounds confident and reassuring, but her voice is wavering slightly. I can see the signs. I can easily see the signs, since I've gone through this myself. She's pushing herself. And what's worse, her body isn't as strong as mine, while her Kotodama is far stronger. It's no surprise that maintaining a strong Kotodama is taking a much heavier toll on her than it did on me.
寝坊してごめんなさい。お腹が空いたでしょ？私も一緒に行くから、何か食べるものを買いに行きましょうか。
She slowly sits up in bed. Just from looking at her movements, I can tell how sluggish she must feel. You shouldn't push yourself. We should stay in the house.
でも下にはあの人がいるわ。言霊を使わずに誠の分まで食事を用意するのはちょっと難しいわね。
Kodama after Kodama. So convenient, Kodama. Kodama is. She's probably right. And I don't want her to use any more Kodama if possible. Will I ever go by myself again and...
それはダメ。
She shuts me down immediately.
私、もう誠を一人にするつもりはないわ。あなたと離れたくないの。
So she says. Her voice is thin as she buries her face in my chest. While I stroke her hair, I try to protest. But the snow is falling around you is clearly growing. She tilts her head upward and watches the snowflakes as they fall. It means you're weakened, doesn't it?
そうね。
She admits it reluctantly.
自分でも感じているわ。胸の中で望みの言霊がざわめくの。
The notable reason you should cancel your kodama soon. You need to save your strength to recover, otherwise... I have a bad feeling about what could happen otherwise.
ダメ。
She's very determined. She slowly gets out of bed and stands up.
せっかく誠が昔のように優しくなってくれたところなのに。
You don't need a kodama. Even without it, I'd still...
そう信じたいわ。でも
She wants our focus all on her, I guess. And in a romantic sense. Be nice to her. In a romantic sense. She looks at me sadly and shakes her head.
私は誠を傷つけたくない。誠に幸せであってほしい。だけど、それ以上にあなたを失うわけにはいかないの。絶対に。
Her face suddenly tightens into a grimace as she presses her temples. She doubles over in pain, then totters a few steps forward. Mana! I jump out of bed and support her body to stop her from falling down. This is not gonna work. This is not going to work. Her breathing is ragged as wet beads on her forehead. This is bad. You need to lie down.
くどいわよ。誠。私が行くと言ったら行くの。私は苦しくないわ。
This is again. Oh boy. Forcefully shutting off the pain with her kodama, she shakes off my grip on her arms. You're obviously straining yourself.
平気よ。自分にかけるくらいなら。ね。
A bunch of littles can turn into a big. How many little kodamas have she used already? She like right now, she just previously used the kodama, or was she planning on using the kodama to make to get Azuki-san to make 2 lunches without questioning it or something? That's her face is as white as a ghost, while her expression is as calm and collected as ever. What a tremendous mismatch. She turns her back to me.
着替えてくるわ。一緒に買い物に行くわよ。
Is it just me, or there's like more snow falling down now? I think the amount has increased. It's not just me, right? Yeah, I think it's increased. Oh my god. Mana, this isn't good. At this point, it's clear that nothing I would do to convince her to stop this. She'll have to come to the right conclusion on her own. On her own. Everything I've learned about her over the years confirms this.
いいわね。
Yes, oh man, I'll change too.
お願い。じゃあ、また後で。
So saying, she trudges off to her room. Mana probably doesn't realize just how dire her condition really is. But that said, I still have no way of forcing her to cancel her kotodama. All I can do now is stay by her side and watch for any sudden changes in her symptoms. And thankfully, that fits with what she wants to do. That fits with what she wants me to do. Stay by her side. Despite what she said, Mana had stopped to rest several times along the way, so our shopping trip took quite a long time. It was bizarre to link arms with Mana and walk around the apparently abandoned streets. I couldn't help but wonder what would happen if we kept walking all the way to school. Mana didn't have much of an appetite, so after barely eating any of what we bought, she went back to her room to sleep some more. I thought I'd go and sit with her while she slept, but she told me to keep out of the room. Apparently while we were out shopping, she caught a glance of her own face in the mirror and realized how exhausted she looked. And now she said she didn't want me to see her exhausted face while she was sleeping. I really am worried. Oh boy. Her lack of appetite is probably because she started to lose her sense of taste, just like I did. If she hadn't been suppressing the pain with her kotodama, she'd probably be too nauseated to keep any food down anyway. She's in dire straits now. I'm sure she's close to her limit. School is already over. Looking at the clock, I see that it's around the time that those students who don't have after school club activities start walking home. I wonder what my classmates are thinking about me these days. Kokoro believes correctly that Mana hasn't been feeling well, but she's been commanded not to worry too much about my disappearance. If people like Kyoko or Hotaru talked to her, wouldn't they find it strange that she seemed so unconcerned about me? If people like Kyoko or Hotaru. I'm still wondering what Mana's effects on Hotaru has on. What Mana's Kotodama has. What the effect Mana's Kotodama has on Hotaru. The effect. Honestly, because I know that Hotaru is immune to Kotodama, but if it's indirectly placed around her, then would it still matter? Like, would Makoto still see Hotaru? Because Hotaru is like a walking immunity, walking Kotodama immunity. I'm very curious about Hotaru's situation in all this. Oh yeah, and I'm also curious about Kokoro's actions as well, because we called Kokoro and she picked it up, right? She has she sees Makoto's number but no voice is coming through. That has to have been worrying Kokoro to some extent. Regardless of whether regardless of the Kotodama placed on by Mana to say that not to worry about Makoto, it won't have too much of an effect if the worries overcome it. Hasn't been feeling well, but she has a commanded not to worry too much about my disappearance. Hotaru! I think we need Hotaru's help. Is Hotaru gonna save us? I don't think. It seems so despair. Seems hopeless at this rate. This point. Oh. I look at my school bag lying untouched on my desk and narrow my eyes. In the worst case, I may end up leaving this town without ever seeing any of them again. I accepted that when I decided to trust Mana and go along with her wishes, but that doesn't make me feel any less sad about it. All this just to make me realize yet again that the Olibe Hospital and my school are both very important places to me. Time to say goodbyes. Time to say my goodbyes, huh? When I first came here, I was driven only by my curiosity and led only by the voice of my mother saying, or so I thought, you must leave. I had barely thought through anything. I hadn't planned or anticipated anything concrete, like how long I was going to stay here, for example. But once I started going to school, I came to hope that I could stay there until graduation. Now, leaving aside the situation with Mana, I've started to want to stay here for as long as I can. I kept thinking I wanted to stay here a little longer. And then a little longer than that. And before I knew it, I started wanting to stay here indefinitely. I can see how it might seem childish, but that's just how I feel, and I completely support Makoto's decision on that. If it's a place that makes you happy, stay there. He has no family back in the village. Like, in Makoto's case, in his situation, and what experiences he has gone through it up to this point, I completely wholeheartedly support him staying here. Indefinitely, even. Mana is the problem, though. That's just how I feel. It'll be sad when I have to leave. Then I laugh at my own hypocrisy. Hypocrisy? Hypocrisy, yeah. Hypocrisy. And when I decided to save Azuki-san's life, I just told myself I was ready to die. I told myself I was ready to say goodbye to this town and all the people in it. And yet here I am, still feeling reluctant to let go. There's no way that Azuki-san was more important to me than There's no way that Azuki-san was more important to me than Mana is to me. Oh yeah, okay, good. So the only explanation is that in the weeks since Azuki-san's recovery, I've become that much more attached to everything and everything here. Everything and everyone here. In that sense, Mana's concern about me is well-founded. I really am infatuated with the outside world. Infatuated you must. As expected you would. But Mana was right when she said that she and I would never belong to this town. And there's no way I'd sacrifice her just for a chance to stay here. So when she wakes up, I'll sit her down and have a talk with her. I'll tell her my decision before it's too late for her. I'll tell her that if she cancels the Kotodama, I'll go back to the village with her. Oh my god. We need... Oh. I hear a small sound and my bedroom door opens. At first I thought Mana had woken up, but there's nobody behind the door. No, wait. I can very faintly see the vaguest outline of a human figure. Who is it? Is it Kokoro?
いやー、誠さん。いくらなんでも、ホタルと心を間違えるのはないんじゃないかな。
I have never been more happy to hear that voice. Oh.
一応設定上はお兄さんなわけなんですし、しっかりしてくださいよ。
What? The voice is very muffled, so I can barely hear it, but I can make out the words. Otaru, is that you? Look in the direction of the voice and concentrate hard.
はい、間違いなく確実に誠さんの可愛い後輩のホタルですよ。
Ah, why? Wait, what on earth? It seems I'm not hallucinating. Hotaru really is standing there.
もしかしなくても、誠さん、ホタルのことが見えてなかったりします？
She's already figured out what's going on. I always knew she was a smart one. She's very intuitive. Yes, that's right. Also, I can only hear your voice very faintly. Could you come a little closer so I can hear you better?
いいですけど、そういうふりをしてホタルをからかってるんだったら怒りますからね。
Ah, it's not. Just give me a minute to explain. Wow, wow, the
しょっ
wow,
と。
the touching hands, the whole hand holding. Ah, we're sitting back to back now, since she said it wouldn't do for us to be face to face. I can feel the weight of her body leaning against me.
さて、それでは詳しいお話を聞かせていただきましょうか。誠さん、もうこの際観念してブワーッと景気よく洗いざらい白状しちまうのがおすすめですよ。
As usual, there's something comically self-important about her tone. Before I know it, I'm breaking into a smile. Sure, but first, why are you here, Hotaru? She's worried.
ココロンの様子がちょっと変だったから気になったんです。マナちゃんが体調崩してしばらくお休み、誠さんもって言うから。あら、それは大変。大丈夫なのって聞くと、大丈夫、気にしないでって。
That was weird to you? I can see how Mana's Kotodama shaped Kokoro's answer, but in the end, it didn't seem like a very abnormal thing to say.
変ですよ。いつものココロンだったら、こうです。
Ah, yeah, she would be more panicked because she also quite have some strong feelings for us.
そうなの。大したことはないみたいなんだけど、やっぱり心配でって。
Ah, yeah. Phrasing. Ah, I see. Hotaru's impression of Kokoro seems spot on.
そこで、むむっと思ったホタルは、ちょっと踏み込んで、具合はどんな感じ？病院には行ったの？とか聞いてみたわけです。
Ah.
するとまあ、やっぱり同じように、大丈夫、気にしないで。が帰ってくる始末。
Yeah, that would be very strange, yeah.
はっは、これは、と、ビビッときましたよ。また、言霊だなって。
Sinister hand. Yeah, what's it? Is he?
はっは、これは、と、ビビッときましたよ。また、言霊だなって。それでまあ、何かトラブルでも起こったのかもしれないと思って、こっそり様子を見に忍び込ませていただきました、と。
So upbeat.
何事もなかったら、可愛く笑ってごめんなさいするつもりで。あ、もちろんマナちゃんとお取り込み中だったら、無言で回れ右して帰りましたよ。
I'm impressed. She really is sharp-witted. I thank my stars yet again that she's on my side. If she had been my enemy, I'm sure Mana and I would long since been driven out of town.
で、何があったんですか？ホタルが見えないこととも関係あるんでしょうか？
Yes, it does. I summarized what's been happening as best as I can, and so Mana's Kododama is making it impossible for me to perceive anyone except her. So obviously I couldn't go to school.
なるほど。そういうことでしたか。
But I still have no idea why I can perceive you. It's immunity. A walking immunity. My first thought was that Mana's Kododama might be starting to fade. but I'm still unable to use my own kodadama or apologize to her for anything, so those other kodadamas are still in full effect. In which case, there's no reason for the kodadama that blocks out the perception of other people wouldn't be fully active too. So the only thing I can think of is that it must be something to do with how kodadamas didn't work in Hotaru specifically.
不思議ですね。だって、その認識できないっていう言霊は、ホタルにかけたんじゃなくて、誠さんにかけられたものでしょ？
Hotaru seems just as puzzled as I am. I'm also pretty confused. I can only think of, I was just thinking that she's evoking immunity at this point. Since the kodadama that's working on Makoto is not supposed to allow him to see other people, but she can still see Hotaru, which kind of has some weird inconsistency there.
なのに、どうして誠さんはホタルのこと見えちゃうんでしょう？謎ですね。
Being immune, directing Kodadama to Hotaru and being immune to it is one thing. That's slightly different from what's happening now. So yeah, mysteries. I don't understand it either. The thing is, I can't see or hear her completely clearly. The fact must be the key to explaining this, but I don't have time to investigate that right now.
でも、今の話を聞く限り、結構お手上げっぽくないですか？
We're in a bind. Pretty much. I can't use my kodadama, so I can't force Mana to do anything.
ホタルにもできませんよ。
I wasn't planning to. Mana and I can't make Hotaru do what we want with our kodadamas, so that does make her an obstacle to us sometimes. But that doesn't mean that Hotaru is able to make Mana or me do what she wants either.
まあ、そうなると、やっぱり地道にマナちゃんを説得するしかないってことですよね。
Yeah.
そもそも、どうしてこんなややこしいことになってるんです？
Oh boy, where do I begin? Are we gonna tell her about our night with Kokoro?
マナちゃんを怒らせるようなことをしたんですか？誠さん。
Are we gonna tell her? I can't bring myself to say that it was because I slept with Kokoro. But considering Kokoro's sharp intuition, she might have already guessed the truth. Yeah, I didn't think it would bother her so much though. Yes, I didn't think it would bother her so much though.
すごく誠さんらしいです。それ。
Really?
要するに女心をさらっと踏みにじってしまった。違いますか？
Not reading the atmosphere. I think that's right. She hit the nail on the head, as usual. If only I had talked to Hotaru more over the past few days, maybe all this could have been avoided.
やっぱり。で、謝りはしたんですか？マナちゃんに。
Can't apologize, sadly. She said she didn't want to hear mere words, so she used her kodadama to forbid me from saying I'm sorry.
マナちゃんも、だいぶこじらせてますね。まあ、でも、それもいかにもマナちゃんらしい気がしますけど。
She chuckles wryly.
それで、お怒りは解けそうなんですか？誠さんの手応え的には。
I don't know. She says that she'll cancel her kodadama once I properly reassure her.
それはちょっと時間がかかりそうですね。
Yes, but we don't have that much time left.
え？
Maintaining such a strong Kododama on me is taking a huge toll on Mana's body. I'm sure she's almost at the breaking point. At this rate, in the worst case, she'll die.
Huh?
I can't see her face behind me, but she sounds shocked beyond belief. Maybe it's because of how calmly I'm speaking?
ちょっと、誠さん、何言ってるんですか？この後に及んで、冗談？
It's not a joke. Mana really might die, the way things are going.
待ってください。言霊って、ほとんどリスクなしで使えるとか、そんな話を聞いたような。
Yeah, we didn't share to her yet our experience. Completely slipped my mind. Too much things happening at once. It did. Because I always thought that was the case. I looked down at my hands. I always thought my Kododama was just like another body part, like my arms or legs. No, even now I still feel that way. But a while ago, Mana told me the truth. The Kododama is words imbued with a part of your soul. To speak a Kododama is to share your life force with another person. Hotaru is speechless. I can feel her body trembling against my back.
やっぱり怖い力。
Her voice is almost a whisper. I've actually been down the same path Mana's going right now. Mana's going down now. To save Azuki-san, I had to use the strongest Kododama I ever used. She holds her breath. She's smart enough to guess what I must have done. That day, I physically felt how speaking in Kododama drains your life force.
あれ、でも、誠さんはちゃんと生きてますよね。どうして？
It's a good question. As Mana tells me, it's because I'm apparently just too untalented.
それで、命を使い切るのを失敗したってことですか？
Probably, yes.
よかった。誠さんが死ななくて。
She sighs, actually sounding relieved. But unlike Mana is incredibly talented. She's one of the most talented Kododama users in the history of our village. So her strongest Kododamas not only have much more powerful effects on others, they also take a much heavier toll on her body.
才能があるんだから、コントロールもうまくできちゃうってことはないんですか？自分が死んでもいいから誠さんをつなぎ止めたいっていうのは、さすがにマナちゃんだってない気がしますけど。
I feel like she's blinded right now.
だって自分が死んでしまったら意味がないじゃないですか。
It's true. That's true. She's probably just thinks she know where to stop, but I'm not so sure. The most obvious sign is how her snowfall is getting heavier. I can't help but take it as an ill omen. Also, maybe her greater skill has allowed her to shut off her pain more effectively than I was able to. That means it'll be harder for her to notice when her body is about to give out.
じゃあ、誠さん、どうするつもりですか？
Great question. We've been asking the same question in the past few scenes. I have realized that there's only one choice, unfortunately. I have to go back to the village with her.
それは残念ですね。
She hesitates for a few moments before replying, and I can hear the sadness in her voice.
ホタルとしては、もっと誠さんたちといろいろ遊びたかったんですけど。
This is completely unrelated, but I'm surprised that she was aware of how we attempted to save Azuki-san all the way back, because those kinds of memories are like older than a week. So I know that she keeps a notebook, or I presume she's keeping a notebook to note down the details of what happens on each day. But that took me by surprise, though. Surprisingly, because we still don't know how she's relaying on information week after week when she forgets her memories. Personally, it would have been nice to hang out with both of you a lot more.
ホタルとしては、もっと誠さんたちといろいろ遊びたかったんですけど。
Personally, I feel the same way, and I think Amanda does too. After experiencing the outside world, both Amanda and I have changed. I bring to mind the faces of Kokoro, Azuki-san, and Hotaru, Kyoko, Koichi, and everyone at school. I never thought I'd be able to make so many friends and have so many fun here, though our Kododama did help. I truly believe that leaving the village and coming here was the right choice.
でも、戻るんだ。
Honestly, I still don't feel ready to leave. There are things I still want to do here, but...
それ、幸せなことだと思いますよ。
She sounds quite envious.
もういい。こんなとこ嫌だ。出てってやる。そういう気持ちで終わるんじゃなくて、いい思い出のままのお別れなんですから。
Yeah, she's right.
それに誠さんは、
Right.
里を出てきた時もそうだったんでしょ？完全に嫌気がさして飛び出したわけでもない。
She's right about that too. I'm surprised you could tell.
誠さんを見ていれば、だいたい想像つきますよ。
Am I really that transparent?
とにかく、それが誠さんの選択なら、ホタルは応援しますよ。何か、ホタルにお手伝いできること、ありますか？正直、あんまりないかなって自分でも思いますけど。
Thanks for asking. Anyway, I appreciate the thought. I really am happy that she wants to help me even now. There actually is one favor I'd like to ask you.
どうぞどうぞ。
After we left, I would like you to watch out for Kokoro and the others for me.
わかりました。
I think she would watch out for them even without me asking. Ideally, I would use my Kododama to make everyone forget about us completely. That would be the best way to properly clean up after ourselves, but there's Hotaru there. It's gonna make Hotaru sadder. Because she can't forget. Kododama doesn't work on her.
残念ながら、ホタルには言霊が効きません。ごめんなさい。
Yeah. She doesn't sound apologetic at all, as she laughs to herself. Exactly, but honestly, I would prefer it this way. I'm glad that it will be impossible to totally erase the experiences I had here. That there will be something left of me here. Later, maybe tonight, I'll talk to Mana and see if I can get her to cancel the Kododama, so that I can perceive other people again. If she does, then I plan to spend tomorrow going around town, and erasing as many people's memories of me as I can. But it's possible that I won't be able to finish that before I have to leave. Judging from my own experience, I don't think Mana will survive more than 2 or 3 days in the state.
なるほど。そこを、ホタルにフォローしてほしいと。
Exactly, even if I don't finish erasing everyone's memories, I might miss someone or leave some kind of evidence of my presence here.
なんだか、誠さんの遺言を聞いているような気持ちになってきましたね。
This is so painful. Makoto has to... It's... Destroy... It's... Mana's Kododama is forcing him to make a very... a possibly a regretful choice that would change his future. Oh my god. Sorry to always ask so much of you, even at the very end.
いえいえ、どこまでやれるかわかりませんけど、受けたまわりました。
Thank you so much, really. Meeting you might have been the luckiest thing that happened to me since I left the village.
ひどいなあ、誠さん。
Making her very happy to hear that, but also at the same time sad. I'm surprised at her unexpected response. Huh?
これから会えなくなる相手に、そういうことをナチュラルに言っちゃうんだから。これがホタルじゃない普通の女の子だったら、こっちもお別れが余計に名残惜しくなっちゃうところですよ。
Sorry.
いいんです。ホタルは普通の女の子じゃありませんから。ノープロブレムです。
The weight on my back disappears. She must have stood up.
とりあえず、いろいろ謎が解けてすっきりしました。ちょっと心の様子を見てから帰ります。
Okay, I hope she's doing well.
さようなら、誠さん。
Goodbye, Hotaru. The hints of her presence quickly withdraws. She must have left the room and gone downstairs. I hope we did not make her cry. Oh my god. What is this? What's going on? She must have left the room downstairs. Now that she must be chatting with Azuki-san and Kokoro downstairs, but I can't hear any voices at all. It's more evidence that Mana's Kotodama is working just as well as ever. Whew. I look at the clock. The sun will be setting soon, but Mana still hasn't woken up. I expect that she'll be asleep for some time longer. When I was on the verge of death, I had slept for better of a day. Ooh. Mana said she didn't want me to see her tired face, but still wants to be by her side when she wakes up. There would also be a good opportunity to tell her my plans. Alright, let's stand up and head for Mana's room. Wow. Wow. I'm gonna save here for now. I don't want to make this episode too long. I will be back. I won't actually start a new episode. I will just cut this episode here and start a new episode. No, actually, maybe I should make a new episode. But I'm gonna start it right away, right after cutting off this recording. So, okay guys, I'll see you next time. That was very heart aching. I'll see you guys again in a bit.